In today's video, I'm ranking a ton of different water types, all the way from S tier to F tier. This is a tier list based on their competitive viability and honestly just how good they are in general and respective to other Pokemon in the tier, just with a teeny amount of bias thrown into it, just a tad. Guaranteed to make some of you guys mad, but I'm not sorry. Let's just get into this. Alright, up first is Big Boy Blastoise. Like, what do we even gotta say about this, bro? I would honestly lean towards an S tier, but I think A is comfortable. To me, the Mega Evolution brings it up a lot. And when you get Mega Launcher on it, ooh. But base Blastoise in itself, I would say is a decent Pokemon too. It has good bulk and stats. A tier for sure, yo. Continuing down the list from the generations is Poliwrath. Poliwrath was like always kind of mid, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, he's good, the stats on it are pretty decent. A lot of it just comes down to like its lack of speed when it's not in rain. If you don't got Swift Swim, you're kind of screwed. For that, I mean, it's a really cool design too. I'm just gonna say B tier for Poliwrath. Nah, honestly, I'm gonna say C. We're gonna go C. We're gonna be controversial. Closter. This is another awkward one. Closter has an insanely good ability to actually set up in a battle. You have Shell Smash on this thing and then Skill Link. Oh my god. But, I mean, it's in the lower tiers for a reason. And honestly, its design is very, I don't know, man. But like, I used to love Cloyster, so I want to low-key go B, just because I played with Cloyster so much in White 2, you guys have no idea. Kingdra up next. I turned this guy into a pseudo-legendary, if you don't know. I made it very controversial. Spoiler alert, I gave it Water Bubble. But in all realism, Dragon Dance is a good way to set up with this thing. You also do have Swift Swim and Sniper. You can have a lot of fun with like critical hit Draco Meteor sets. I low-key want to say B tier, honestly, because like, it's such a cool design as well. It's a freaking sea dragon. It's like, bro, come on, that's sick. Paldean Tauros Water. Intimidate and Cudchew are both pretty good. I actually use this thing a lot in NU. I literally played a few months back and I used this guy on my team. He was a very good defensive switch-in. And like, the design on it is also pretty cool. For its role, I guess, in the NU tier, I would say it's good. Probably one of the better ones in that tier as well. But there's just so many better water type options. I mean, it's in a lower tier for a reason. I am low-key thinking B because in the tier it's in, it's amazing. You know what? Fine. I'm gonna give love to Generation 1, even though Game Freak does a lot. I'll slot him in the B tier. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of B tier placements. I don't know how this is gonna go. Gyarados. All right. I'm sorry if I offend anyone with this. S tier. Like, come on, bro. I was really considering A for a little bit, but you have Mega Gyarados, you have Dragon Dance, you have Intimidate on it, you have Moxie on it, like, come on! You can't even ignore the fact that it grows up into such a cool Pokemon from Magikarp, bro. It's like such a nice step up. Literally 0 to hero, and I'm not talking about the Palafin ability. Amazing Pokemon, amazing setup potential, great typing, great everything. Lantern. God. I actually used one of these things in an Ultra Sun and Moon randomized Nuzlocke. Let me tell you, man. Ooh, this thing sucks. I'm gonna throw it in C. Like, the design is cool, and I guess it's kind of cute. And Water Electric is an amazing typing, as we see in Rotom Wash. But it doesn't have recovery. But besides that, it just does not compare to anything else. Quagsire, S tier, bro. I'm gonna say one word. One word. Unaware. That word alone, that should be the determining factor. Plus the combination of water and ground. You have probably the best defensive Pokemon, especially in doubles when you have people boosting to high hell. This is just an easy option. Come on. It walled so many legendaries back in the day, and it still does. It's incredible in any tier it's in. All right, Octillery. This guy is literally untiered in the current generation. It's that bad. He is also in the national decks for Scarlet and Violet, so like, but I actually did. This was the first Pokemon I ever fixed on this channel, my first video ever, like 3-4 months back. I have a little bit of a soft spot for him because I used him in a Nuzlocke, but he wasn't that good. He's slow and his offenses are okay, but like the defenses are just not there. For a Pokemon that slow, he needs better defenses. Honestly, I think this is gonna be our first D tier placement, and that it hurts. It hurts my soul to put him there, but that's just how it has to be. Mantine up next. This is like battle of the mids. Like, Mantine, bro, it's just, it's ass. There's really no other way to put it. The typing is good, but the speed and offenses are not there, and its special coverage it's really not there either. All right, so I lied. I actually checked it. I checked its special coverage. It's pretty good, but that still doesn't justify its placement because it's never really been solid or good. With that monstrosity out of the way, we actually have Sharpedo next. This is a based pick. And honestly, I want to say S, but I do have to understand this thing is a glass cannon, so that knocks it down a few pegs because it cannot survive for the life of it. I'm saying A tier because it's mega, you have strong jaw, like, oh my god, this thing is literally a powerhouse. Like, when you think of glass cannon, it's stuff like this, stuff like Mega Alakazam. These megas are all glass cannons, and like the fact that they are glass cannons, it has to knock them down a little bit because they can only be on the field for so long. Unless you really play out with wish support or stupid mind games, but that's up to you. Crawdaunt, this is such a biased take from me. I'm gonna say straight A tier. And just hear me out real quick before I see this shit in the comments. If you have never run Adaptability Crawdaunt, you are missing out in life. Try Adaptability Crawdaunt with a Choice Scarf, or if you have Tailwind up, if you can find a chance to get that set up and get him on the field without dying, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. That's why I'm gonna leave it at that. A tier. Relicanth, F tier. Come on. Water Rock in itself is like not even that good. Even with the water typing, you have that 4 times weakness to grass, which is absolutely crazy. Like base 55 speed, you have Head Smash, but like, it's just not good. It has too many downsides. It's weak to too many offensive typings that are prevalent. Bibarel, my boy Bibarel. I don't care, S tier. This thing is freaking S tier. It's the best HM mule in my opinion, but like it's also the cutest, and I can't be taking like factors away like that. And Bibarel is decent in a Diamond Pearl Platinum playthrough anyway. Like he's pretty good as a water sponge and like a defensive tank, and he's also freaking cute. All right, Gastrodon, bro, what are we thinking? Another S tier. For anyone who's not played competitively, please just like look up a video probably by False Swipe Gaming and just type in what if, like how good was Gastrodon actually. Probably made a video on that. That will explain to you why this placement is here. Storm Drain, Recover, Scald, Water Ground, great defenses, great utility Pokemon. It's a cool Pokemon too, bro. It's like a little sea slug. Just let it rock. Samurott. This thing was my first ever starter. When I started playing Pokemon Black and White, I chose Oshawott. I'm biased again, I know. I will admit, competitively it's, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because it's a Samurott. It's getting S tier because this is my list. I'm sorry if some of you guys are upset, but also let's take into consideration how cute Oshawott is. Complete opposite. Simipour, honest to God, nah. No, just no. It's really only good, honestly, with Scald. It also can run like a Nasty Plot set pretty well with Ice Beam, but like, there's so many better water types, and this thing can't take a hit for the life of it. There's just too many better ones, D tier. It's just, I hate saying that because it's Gen 5, but it's the truth. On the other hand of the Gen 5 spectrum, Alomomola. Alomomola, say that 3 times, Alomomola. It has such a good HP stat, combined with Regenerator, and the defensive typing in water, just pure water, which is great straight alone. More specifically, it's played roles in the higher tiers. It can be shifted around on different teams depending on what tier you're in and what you need to cover with your team. Dude, the HP stat on it is literally 165 with 80 defense. You invest defense, you're not getting stopped. I'm gonna give this an A tier placement. It's very underrated. If you've never used an Alomomola, just trust me. Clawitzer, this might be another controversial one, but come on, A tier for Clawitzer. Just its design. You have an ability in Mega Launcher. Are you serious? Mega Launcher? Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Water Pulse, Ice Beam. With choice specs, just try it, please. All right, Araquanid. Water Bubble really brings it into that realm of defensive and offensive Pokemon that are just perfect. It unfortunately has a Stealth Rock weakness, and I do love this thing, but personally, when I would go up against it in NU and RU in Sun and Moon, like I'm having like my chest hurts. My chest hurts from thinking about it. Because Sticky Web is very annoying, and so is a Liquidation because you're coming off of a base 140 attack stat uninvested with Water Bubble. It's gonna be at a comfortable placement of B to me because of those reasons. Bruxish up next. C tier for it, and it's really only because of its bulk. Like again, another issue with these water types, these glass cannons that can do a lot of damage, like this thing has strong jaw. It's crazy, and it has psychic fangs, but it's just, it can't live. It's a glass cannon. I've used it, it gets worn down fast, and you really need to know how to play with it. Dracovish is up next. One word, Vicious Rend. Vicious Rend alone is really why he's in the Uber tier. Like, he's literally on the level of legendaries in terms of the competitive realm because of a single move. You combine that with Choice Scarf, you get a Tailwind up, bro, nothing's living, just nothing is living. This thing is S tier. All right, Basculegion. I'm putting it in C, but you have to hear me out. You guys gotta hear me out. It does have adaptability, and yes, I did just go on a rant and rave about how good I thought Crawdaunt was. But Crawdaunt, in my opinion, has a little bit better coverage, and it can utilize both of its stabs very well. His main ghost move, Phantom Force, it's a 2-turn move. 2-turn moves in Pokemon, especially competitive battling, it puts you down such a disadvantage. So C tier, I'm sorry, and I know that upsets people, and it upsets me, because I love this thing. It's Generation 5, essentially. Almost. Veluza, Okay, so Veluza has decent things going for it. You have Fillet Away, you have Sharpness, but that's all just crapped on by its mid-speed and mid-defenses. Like, dude, you're using essentially a belly drum, and if you can't mitigate that HP and compensate for that HP loss, it's not viable. And honestly, I'm throwing it in D. It's getting the D placement today. No one's gonna change my mind on this. It has such good potential, but its stats are so mid. Besides its attack is pretty good. Now, Dondozo, on the other hand, amazing, amazing Pokemon. This thing checks so much. Its first 3 main stats in HP, attack, and defense are all outlandish. Reading right here off of them, 150 HP, 100 attack, 115 defense. You have Unaware, you have Curse, you have Rest. There's so much. Like, this thing is the premier wall. Now, like, I think this thing is like a modern-day Gastrodon or a modern-day Swampert in the sense that it's that new defensive bulky water type, or even Suicune, honestly. But Dondozo is just... Dondozo's on a different level. I'm comfortable with S. That's an amazing place to wrap this video up.